version 2 of the Victorian Curriculum sees some changes to the level 7 and 8 economics and business strand of humanities. The timeline allows for familiarisation until its implementation from 2026. This video focuses on the level 7 and 8 consumer and financial literacy substrand, where one of the dot points is financial planning, including budgeting and achieving financial objectives, and one of the new associated skills is developing personal financial goals and then listing strategies to achieve each goal. In this presentation, we welcome Lionel Lee, who will discuss the benefits of financial education for years 7 and 8 students and what this might entail for them and their teachers. By way of background, Lionel Lee is a writer and commentator with more than 2,000 articles for print and digital media as a multinational business and finance expert. He has taught finance, investment, business and entrepreneurship over 10 years in the US, Singapore and Australia. He's a personal finance expert with the Better Foundation, a private foundation delivering finance education to over 10 million people around the world, including Australia through its Moneyverse content and programs. There's more information on Lionel in the accompanying compact sheet. Thanks for your time today, Lionel.
My pleasure, Geoff. Thanks so much for organising and inviting me to chat with you and also to the members and the teachers of the association.
Thank you. So why is financial literacy so critical for young Australians in years 7 and 8 that's actually being added into the Victorian curriculum?
I think it's the starting point is getting everyone on the same page. So I think the common backdrop that we have right now is that young Australians are supposedly getting dumber, when it comes to money. And that's according to a 2023 study by Allianz and also a 2020 survey by Hilda, or the Household Income and Labour Dynamics. And particularly Australians aged 15 to 24 clocked the biggest decline in financial literacy of all the age groups from those studies. So that's a scary backdrop that we're basically facing as teachers and educators. And financial literacy is basically about having understanding of basic financial information, and that's where again the scary part of young Australians failing in that area. The critical reasons, there's three that comes to mind. I mean, first is the increasingly complex digital landscape of financial products and scams. The second reason is we need a way to help young Australians secure their financial future. And also we need to reduce the younger population's dependency on an increasingly expensive social welfare and healthcare system. So therefore, just based on these three reasons alone, it's critical for us to equip our young Australians with the right personal finance knowledge and skills.
So that's looking at it from the year 7 and 8 student perspective. Yes. But it's probably also important for teachers themselves to be financially literate.
Yes. I think one of the things that we forget, or maybe we assume, which I think is dangerous to assume, is that our teachers are adequately equipped to help students become financially literate. I'm not saying that our teachers are not, but if you look at how much our teachers are paid and their financial situations, how many of our teachers are actually struggling to be financially secure, and how many are even on the road to financial independence or financially independent. So I think the important starting point is to actually help our teachers to put more money in their pockets so that they are in a better position to help their students do the same. And that means that we have to look at a curriculum that allows our teachers and supports our teachers to obtain practical personal finance knowledge and also achieve that level of financial security.
So getting back to the students, what do they actually need to learn in years 7 and 8 to be financially literate?
I think financial literacy, it sounds simple. There are many complex parts to it. And to put it into, simple words, or breaking it down into simple parts, how money works would be one of them. Getting students to understand earning, spending, saving, and importantly helping them to adopt the right money mindset and money habits. That would be what our level 7 and 8 students need to learn to be financially literate as a starting point.
And it's interesting, one of the new skills that's specified in version 2 of the curriculum is setting financial goals and budgeting over 12 months, 5 years, 10 years. What's the value in that for students at that age?
Yeah, I think the challenge of 5 years and 10 years in terms of financial goals and budgeting, I feel it's challenging for a 7 and 8 year student to even envision that far. But the significant value, or maybe the most significant value of this exercise, is at least getting them to adopt the right money mindset and then get them to develop better money habits.
So imagining budgeting is one way that they could start to build their financial future.
Yes, budgeting would be useful from a tool perspective. So we would be using budgeting as a tool to help them practice managing their own money. Noting that year 7 and 8, majority of them would not be in the workforce in any of a contract or part-time basis, right? So they wouldn't be actually earning any kind of income, or majority would not be earning some kind of income, but it would still allow them a basis to look at how they can best manage their money, and also then start thinking about ways to achieve specific financial outcomes as they grow into young adults, as they get into year 9, 10, and some of them might actually then be entering the workforce as well. So it would be a tool that we use to also help them in their adulting process.
Lionel, thanks for providing some initial perspectives on these financial literacy points that teachers will be working towards more over the next 18 months or so. Thank you for your time today.
My pleasure, Geoff.